trying to tell you this. I was supposed to tell you this. This is all for you. 걷길만 걷자 그런 말은 난 못해 좋은 것만 보자 그런 말도 난 못해 이제 좋은 말 있을 거란 말 너는 아프지도
Hi everyone, it's Ariel. So I'm finally making the video talking about my BTS Wings concert experience. It's been forever. Like, I went to the concert on March 23rd, and what is today? April what? 10th? Yeah, April 10th. And I guess it took me this long because I had to gather my thoughts. I literally don't even really know what to say. Like, it was just amazing, and it was worth everything. Like, worth the money for the ticket, worth the money for the bus ticket to get to Newark, New Jersey from Massachusetts. It was worth sitting on a uncomfortable bus for 8 hours to get there. It was worth the hotel room. I'm just talking about money, but it's because honestly I don't even care how much money was spent on this because it was so amazing. And I can't really, there was like, see, this, I can't even get my thoughts together to talk about this. That's why it's taking me forever. But I guess I could start with like the process of everything. I got to Newark on the day before the 23rd. So I guess a Wednesday because the concert was on Thursday. And I went straight to my hotel, and I shared a hotel with Mika, a girl from my group chat, and we were all in a group chat with all of us that knew that we had P2 for the Thursday concert because I had a P2, the pit ticket, and so yeah, we shared a room, and we went to the room, and we were like planning to get up at like 3 a.m. to get to the venue, the Prudential, at like 4 or 5 to line up. But what happened was we were both really tired. So when the alarm went off, we shut it off and went back to sleep. And then like at I think it might have been around like 6 o'clock in the morning, we woke up. We're like, okay, we like didn't even get ready or anything. We just rolled out of bed, went into the bathroom, brushed our teeth, washed our face, and like literally in the clothes that we slept in, we went to the Prudential to start lining up. And it was freezing outside, but I had this like really huge coat that like literally went all the way down to my ankles and had like a huge hood, so it kind of kept me warm even though it was really cold. When we got there, there was about maybe, I would say maybe like 200, 300 people there in line, so we weren't that bad, and most of them were P1 sound check people, so we had a really good spot. So we waited in line from like 7 a.m. until like 2 when they finally got to us to give us the wristbands. And after we got our wristbands, we went straight back to the hotel to start hurry up and get ready. So we got ready. Well, with the wristbands, we were sure to have our spot, but we weren't sure how it all was going to work out. A lot of people left after they got their wristbands, especially since around that time, that's when the sound check people were going in. So they got their wristbands and like left to go do whatever. And so after we came back from the hotel, we went to line up again, and we basically mostly got in order as to where our number was, but it was so chaotic because it didn't make sense. A lot of people didn't even know where their numbers were, so a lot of people ended up cutting because it was chaotic like it was. So having a wristband didn't really ensure anything because a lot of people cut anyways. We got in line and we got in. We went through the security gate. They check everything. Like, they look through your bag, make sure you don't have any like huge cameras or whatever. And as soon as we got in, we like started running. They're like, don't run, don't run. So like we would slow down. But then as soon as we were past the personnel people, we would start running again. And we got inside, and literally there was not that much people near the P2 stage. We were so close. We were like freaking out as soon as we got there to stand there. We're like, oh my God, we're so close. We're so close. And like, I was already on the verge of crying because this was my first BTS concert, and I was like freaking out that I was going to see them this close. I thought we were going to be like far back in the pit, but we weren't. And um they started off by like playing BTS music videos like they do on all of them. Like they went through music videos, people were singing, everyone's getting hyped. There was a little tension in the pit already because people started pushing up before the concert even started, and a couple of people like edged their way in between. Like this really tall girl edged her way in between me, my friend, and like the other group of people we were standing with and were talking to. She edged her way in, got all the way to the front, and was against the barrier, and like we were so mad, and we're like telling her like you can't just come out here out of nowhere, and you're like super tall at that. She like went in front of all these short people too that couldn't see anything now that she was there, and that like kind of like made us really upset. But we were like, no, what, forget it. We're not here to fight with people. Like we're here to see BTS, and that's that. So then, um, like honestly, everything's really a blur. I don't even remember the order of the set list. That's how much of a blur it was for me. But I know like they started showing the VCR, the intro VCR, and then all of a sudden the curtain came down and like BTS was there with the backup dancers. They're on a P1 stage, so they were pretty far from us, so we had to look at the big screen to see them. And they started off with "Not Today," so you know everyone's freaking out saying "Not Today." And I think after "Not Today," they went into Pepsi. Am I wrong? Like I honestly don't really remember all the stuff that was performed on the P1 stage because I was in between looking at the screen and crying because I was actually there. So it's just like a blur. But I think the first time they appeared on the P2 stage was during. Okay, wait. Let me go back. See, my thoughts are all jumbled. When Youngie did First Love, I literally stood in awe and was like in shock, and I don't even think I said anything. I just stared at the big screen and like I teared up. So like I'm about to tear up now, even just thinking about it because that song like gets to me so much. And Youngie's my bias, and like he was so serious about that song. Like it, the whole stadium hushed for like legit like a whole minute just watching him in awe. That's how perfect it was. Like people were crying and sobbing, and like it was so good. And I think I have a video of it, maybe somewhere. Yeah, I think I definitely have a video. I'm gonna check. I might link it in here somewhere. And so that was First Love. But honestly, the first song that I remember them doing on the P2 stage was a little bit of J Hope's Mama, which was amazing. And like he looked so good in the song live. J Hope. I don't even know what to say about Hobie. Live, he like snatched me so bad. Like I don't even know what to do. Mika is a Hobie fan, so she was like beside me dying, and I was just like kind of converted into a Hobie stan because he was so good live. And Mama was such a feel good song. Everyone was singing it, and the backup dancers was really cute. The one backup dancer during Mama, the guy with the shaved sides and the mohawk. During Mama, he was like right in front of me doing the dance, and like he was sticking his tongue out and doing the most. And I was like, I see you, backup dancer. And then I think it was Lost with Jin, Jungkook, Jimin, and V, the vocal line, which honestly I just remember screaming and jumping during Lost. Honestly, I'm telling you guys, I really don't even remember that much because it was a blur. Like I had to look at the fan cams, and I didn't even record that much either because I was too busy freaking out. So I had to use some of the Mika's fan cams that was beside me. Let me think. What else happened? Well, yeah, Pit was insane though. Like four separate girls around us fainted. Like literally, this girl dropped down to the ground. She was laying on the ground, fainted, and like we had to like pick her up, lift her up, and like yell for the security to get her out. Another girl fainted. They had to get her out. Like two other girls felt like they were gonna faint, had to get them out. Like people were dropping because it was so packed in and it was really hot, and people from the back was pushing up, but me and my friend and a couple girls, and like these Korean girls that came from Korea, we all like linked our arms like this during most of the concert so that people wouldn't push us and push back between us, because people were literally trying to elbow their way, like elbowing people in the face to get closer, to get into the front and get in front of people. So it was crazy. But other than that, it was a good experience. And like most of the people I met and I was around in the pit were really nice, except for this one girl behind me. I don't even know who she was, but she literally kept resting her elbow on my shoulder so she could record. And I was like, but I was trying not to let nothing bother me because like BTS. So, okay, Cypher is always one of my favorite BTS songs. I love Rapline, like Suga, J-Hope, and Rap Monster. Once the I think Jin's Awake was first, and like I was crying during Awake, singing Awake, like oh, and then all of a sudden the beat to Cypher Part 4 came on. I was like, so I went from emotionally crying to hype in like 2.5 seconds, and Cypher started, and I was like, yeah, and like literally through every fan cam you hear me either screaming, man, yeah, sugar, or just screeching like someone was murdering me or something. And then like, so Cypher was amazing. I was like doing Cypher the whole time. It was during Cypher I like screamed. I was like rapping the lyrics, which probably was mumble jumble. They probably didn't even really. I probably wasn't even really saying anything, but because especially Rap Monster and Sugar, they rap so fast. Like what? And then they get to the part, during Cypher, they always take out the water bottle and like pour the water into the audience. And then J-Hope came right to our side during Cypher. And then he like looked into the crowd, he sipped some of his water, and then he was like, and then the beat was, and all of a sudden he's like, shh, shh, shh. And they're like, what? Everyone freaked out, like, ah! People were like, oh my God. And like, I was freaking out, I was like, oh my God, J-Hope Cypher water. Like, it was so amazing. And then like, when they did the medley of all their older songs, everyone freaked out. It was so good. Everyone was singing all their older songs, freaking out. And then, like, I can't even remember the right sequence of how everything happened. So I'm just like going to whatever comes to my mind. But when they were talking and Rap Monster was like, oh, I have one question to ask y'all. Will you be with BTS until the end? I freaked out. I was like, yes, yes, forever. Like, oh my gosh, literally. And I think, like, oh my God, it was just so good. And then, like, I don't know which song it was, but I think it might have been Wings, the outro. Youngie came like right to our side, and then he like was doing that, and then he was like this, and I was like, ah, Youngie, yes, I love you. And he was like, and I was like, oh my God, I literally almost fainted right then and there. I was like, bruh, I think Youngie just acknowledged me. Like, I don't know what to do with my life. This is all I wanted, and that's it. And like, there was a couple more moments where we were like, I swear, we were like locking eye contact, and Namjoon came right in front too. And then he was like, oh my God. He came like right in front, and I think I like spaced out or something, because I was like, ah! Because Namjoon looks so good in person. Like, I always knew Namjoon was attractive, but in person, like, he's just gorgeous. Like, I don't know, I was shook. And Jungkook looks like a baby, like in YouTube videos and stuff, and like watching other people's fan cams, and you see him, he looks all manly and like Jungkook cookie. But in person, oh my God, he looks like a baby. His face is so cute. He looks like a child. And Jimin was super extra. He would come on our side of the pit, and he would bend down, and like his pants were super tight. They looked like they're gonna burst open. I literally could not handle it. Every time he came and bent down in front of us, I freaked out. There was a lot of Jimin stands and Taehyung stands where I was at, and Taehyung stayed on our side of the pit a lot, like a lot. He was always there. Like, I seen Taehyung most of the night. Youngie would come over like once in a while. Namjoon came over a lot too. We were on the left side of the P2 stage, like kind of right on edge, but we got pushed more center as the concert started, because everyone started pushing. Like, we ended up getting pushed more center and further up. We're like the third row of people. Like, there was the people against the barrier, and then like a group of people in front of us, and then it was us. So we were pretty close. And we ended up getting pushed even closer because, as soon as the concert starts, people start pushing and packing in. But so yeah, I didn't really see Jin. He only came on our side like once in a while. Jungkook came on our side a few times, but not as mostly J Hope, Taehyung, and Jimin came on our side a lot. Namjoon like spread out all over. He was all over the stage. So was Suga. He would go all the way back to like the P1, closer to the P1 stage during performances. Like they're pretty good about spreading out and making sure that everyone sees them and that they don't just stay in one spot. And let me try to see. Let me think. And the rainbow ocean was so pretty. Like honestly, a lot of people didn't think it was gonna work out, and it was really pretty. I went the first night, and like the banner project didn't work out because literally the pit was insane, and most people forgot, so that didn't work out. But the rainbow lights was really really pretty, and like Namjoon said something about it. I don't even remember. He was like red, purple, blue. He was like naming out the colors, and he mentioned about Billboard, and he was like, "Yeah, the glory is all yours. Thank you for Billboard." And everyone freaked out, and like I don't know, it was just so like a crazy experience. And like at one point, Youngie was there asking like the lower floor to scream, and then the second floor and third floor. And then once everyone finished, Youngie's always extra, and he's like. Like that wasn't good enough, and then he's like one more time louder, and then like you can hear me freak out. I was like screaming so loud. Like I don't. It honestly was such a great experience. Like it really was. Every performance was really good. The solos were really good. The group songs were really good. You can tell they were so tired, but they were having so much fun at the same time. And like they really enjoyed being able to do the concert and see all their fans there. And I'm so happy that I got to see them live and that they enjoyed it. And like during 2-3, oh my god, I definitely cried during 2-3. And like they dimmed the music a little bit and everyone was singing it. And like you can see Namjoon was so happy that everyone was singing 2-3. Like if you watched him, his face was just he was feeling it. He wouldn't even really look at the crowd. I feel like he was on the verge of crying. And towards the end, after they did their last set, I think it might have been, was it Spring Day? I think so. And the you never walk the like little breakdown of Spring Day where they go everyone started singing that part like the Brazilian fans did, and like they were so happy. Like Youngie, like his face, like how usually he just stands there, he's like composed, like he has like straight face, but then as soon as you hear it gets louder, everyone's like like his face just broke out in a smile, and like they were all so happy, and Jungkook too. You could see the smile on his face also, and like it was so good. And they like thanked everyone and like did their cute little speeches in English, and I don't know. I'm trying to think of everything, but like everything was just such a blur. I was just so happy to be there and being able to see them and support them because I love BTS so much. And like it was an amazing night, and yeah. And like talk so much. I'm probably just gonna throw in the couple fan cams that I had right at the ending of this because honestly I don't know what else to say. I'm happy that I saw BTS. I'm happy that I met fellow armies, and that's it. So like, comment, subscribe, and bye.
my heart. I don't need that. Right. I feel like they have to because they want to turn the lights out and start have people start leaving. Oh, just come out one more time. At least say thank you. Oh, the purple bag. Them assholes are not turning the lights yet. Okay, that's something.